Time for another rewind.
When Robin Taberner and Wendy Merritt arrived in the DR Congo, they hit the ground running.
I've been out here for probably about half an hour. I don't know, this is life.
Their new home presented incredible challenges. The violence, suffering, and political instability they faced daily was sometimes more than they could bear.
I want something to offer, you know, like I want to be able to help in some way or like contribute in some way.
Although they were overwhelmed, Robin and Wendy had found places where they could make a difference. Working alongside the Congolese people to create change, they started by helping malnourished children and groups of rape victims at both the Panzi Hospital and a local church.
On a human level, like, you just want to fix things. You just want to put a band-aid on the problem and like fix it. Like, you see a starving child, you want to feed it.
Despite these challenges, they had adjusted to their life in the DR Congo, building relationships that would prepare them for whatever the DRC had in store for them next.
With so much work to be done, it was easy to forget their physical limitations. This had landed Wendy in the hospital once already, and unfortunately, the second time around would be far worse than the first.
Wendy's a real champ, she's hanging in there. She does well most of the day, and it'll be like, if there's been a long time between meals, she'll get really kind of like feverish or just feeling really weak. So she's really feeling very feverish right now. I think part of it is the IV, her arm is like really hurting. It's been a few days now and like tons of medicine pumping in there.
Tell Evan not to show this to my mother until I'm already back in the States.
We need to understand Boga.
She's feeling scared.
Wendy hapana kuogopa. Napenda sana.
I love you so much.
Huh?
It's finished. It's finished, it's finished. She's taking it out.
Just when I think no more medicine will fit in, they put more in.
Do you have any thoughts, Wendy?
I want to get out of here. Not Congo, just the hospital.
I think we're all with you on that one.
Wendy had come closer to death than she had realized, having survived Gardia, Typhoid, and Malaria at the same time. Although the fight had been long, she was just grateful to be alive.
I was really scared. Like, I really thought that this might be, like, God called me here to leave this earth. Several points, it felt like my body was being, like, twisted into a pretzel, but I was laying perfectly straight. At first I was really scared, more so for my family and, like, what they would go through because of my death, but it wasn't my time.
Looks like you don't have an IV in your hand anymore.
I don't.
Are you brushing your teeth?
They took all the stuff out of my arm, Hakuna Dawa, which means no more medicine. So they're gonna come and take a sample of blood and to make sure that I don't have any more malaria. Hakuna Malaria, Hakuna Typhoid, Hakuna
Matata.
Giardia, Hakuna Matata. Although my hands are like...
Let's get like a size comparison.
Robin just said that my hand is beastly.
It's looking kinda large. Do you need some help brushing your teeth, Wendy? I can put the camera down.
Okay.
You got it now? Cool. I'm zooming in on Wendy's man hand right now. That's what we affectionately refer to it as.
This is as far as I can go. You're supposed to be able to do this. And like this. But I can only do that. Before I couldn't move my fingers, but now I can move my fingers. You just have to, like, I have to like cradle it and, you know, like make sure like protect my hand.
As the days passed, Wendy would eventually make a full recovery. In the midst of her time in the hospital, the rape victims from the Panzi Church had found themselves in even more desperate need.
So we went last week to visit their house now. It looks honestly like what you'd kind of picture an abandoned warehouse to look like in the US, you know? Like the walls are falling in and like there are big gaping holes in like the ceiling.
There's like a lot of soldiers around, they get harassed a lot and we can't go there, and just it's a miserable existence for them to figure out like how to sleep comfortably and just not secure at all.
That's where they stayed. I don't know if you can tell from here, but they don't have any roofing on their house, and it was just kind of wide open.
The rainy season's about to start, and they said just their floors are just soaking wet, you know, because they don't have a roof. They sleep on these straw mats on the ground, so for the floor to be wet, it's like a really, really big deal.
It's like roughly about 12 women and 40 children, so you can imagine how difficult that is.
These women trying to provide for 5 children, 6 children on less than $1 a day.
And able to provide shelter for their families, these women needed help now more than ever. As their relationships with Robin and Wendy had grown, so had the search for a lasting way to help them finally get back on their feet.
It's Saturday. We normally don't come on Saturday, and we normally come on Monday.
Where are you?
Panzi Parish. We were able to get some other housing for them. This made it much better. They're really nice houses, and we're here today to tell them about the fact that they get to move to these new houses, and it's rent-free, and they get to move like as soon as possible. So even tonight they'll be sleeping in their new house, and it won't be raining on their heads, and their children will be able to sleep comfortably, and we're so excited.
They're eating sugar cane right now that Robert got for them. So right now they don't know yet.
Unasikia namna gani kwa sababu unajua dama. Unasikia namna We're starting solo and now we're being lifted up. Today I'm here. I'm happy. I'm joyful because of what God has done for me. I will sleep inside of a house tonight.
Although the news of their new home had been overwhelming, they wasted no time and began the process of moving in, bringing what little they had to their new home.
Karibu!
Karibu kwako.
Just so excited. This is like such an amazing celebration, and just like watching the women just rejoice and sing and dance and
For these women, this new house was much more than a roof over their heads. It was the promise of a new life, one that now told the story of the women of Panzi, those who had come to be mended in body, but through faith were now being mended in spirit.
Today we'll sleep inside of a house.
I
don't even know what to say. I can't forget God.
Into